Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a pizza ordering program game in Python. This would be useful if you want to buy pizza. And here's how it works. First you enter the base you want to order and the toppings you want. Then it asks you if you want to collect it or get it delivered. And it prints your bill. So let's start making the program. So first we want to tell the user all the types of bases available. So we'll type print bases. Then we type in the types of bases, and after a gap we type in the amount, the money. After we have finished, we can put a space. We can just give information. Now we tell the user all the toppings that are available. We can number them or not. It is up to you. After we have finished typing all the toppings, we can type the cost of all the toppings. Print all toppings cost. And you can order as many as you want. You can also limit the number of toppings you want them to order, but I'm gonna go with as many as they want. Print. Then a space. Then we set a variable, which is a storage in the memory where you can store data. This is a boolean because only there are two values, true or false. Now we make a while loop. While loop is a condition control loop where the program runs until the condition is true, which means if change is true, then it will run, otherwise it will be skipped and not executed. And also you need to set the variable before the while loop, unlike for loops. Now we type base equals input, enter base you want to order. Now what this lower function does is that it returns the string in lowercase where all the letters are lowercase. For example, if the user inputs a word like this, the string stored in the variable base would be all lowercase, so it would be stored as word like this in all lowercase. It is used so that the condition in if statement is exactly as the input, so that if for example, the user inputs a capital W instead of a small one and the if statement says small w, then it would not match the if statement condition, so it will mess up the program. That's why we need to make sure that the condition is met accurately with the input. That's why we use lower. We can also use upper where all the letters are uppercase and the string is uppercase, but I prefer to use lower. Then we make a list topping. Then we print, type the topping you want to order. Type done when finished. Then we type done equals false because it will be true when the customer is finished with typing the toppings. So we need to make it false. This is another boolean variable. And in the while loop we type topping equals input topping lowercase it if topping equals done, done equals true, else toppings dot append topping. Make sure to not type essay, otherwise it will think that you're talking about the list instead of the variable, which is different. Then this while loop will execute until done equals true, which will be when the user inputs done, so that they can input as many times as they want until they type done, and until they are not done. And until they are not done, we add the topping the user inputs in the toppings list using append, which is a function that adds an element of any data type, string, boolean, float, integer, etc. at the end of the list. Then another space. Then we calculate the cost of the topping, which would be length of the toppings list times 0.5, because each topping costs 0.5. This is a float variable where there are decimals instead of an integer, which is a whole number. Then we do an if statement. If base equals small, base cost equals 1. We're setting another float variable here, calculating the cost of the base. And here, that's why the lower was important, because if the user inputs capital S, then it will not recognize the word and it will go to the else part of the if statement, which we don't want. Elif base equals medium, base cost equals 1.5, else base equals cost. So now this calculates the cost of the base according to if it is small, medium or large. And then we calculate the total cost of the pizza by adding the base cost and topping cost. Now we tell the user what they have ordered and this is what they want or they want to change. The base you ordered, the toppings you ordered, and the toppings list. Then print cost of pizza equals total cost, change equals input change or okay dot low, if change equals change, then change equals true, else change equals false. Now when they are done and they think that their order is okay, it will skip the while loop because the change variable would be set to false and this condition will be false, so it will skip the while loop and go to the next part where we will print, do you want to collect it or deliver? Now let's give them a discount. Print, if if you collect the pizza, you get a 40% discount. Pizza order, which is another variable, is input, enter, collect or deliver. Don't know. If pizza order is collect, which means if the user wants to collect the pizza, then the reduced cost will be total cost of the pizza right now times 40 over 100, which is the percentage as fraction, and then we calculate the total cost, which would be the total cost right now minus the reduced cost. And we also put another variable, discount equals true, because we are giving the discount. Else, discount equals false and reduced cost will be 0. And the total cost would be what it is now. Then, now we make another variable, bill, input, if the user wants the bill to be printed, yes or no. I'm using the short form of yes or no, reply ON. Then dot law print if bill equals yes, print your bill. Print. Now we print all of the information, the base you ordered, base, cost of your base cost. By the way, the commas here are used to join two different strings or different data types. For example, this one is string and this is a float, and comma is used to join these. But if they both are strings, then you can use plus, and this is called concatenation. But this is not string, so we need to use comma here. Now we print the toppings we ordered. Print toppings, the list, print cost of your toppings, topping cost, and if we are giving the discount, if discount equals true, then we print the discount as 40%, print the reduced cost, and we will round the reduced cost because it can be like a recurring decimal or a big decimal, so we round it to 2 decimal places. In round, which is a function, the first argument is the number that you want to be rounded, and the second one after the comma is how many decimal places you want it to be rounded. Then we do the else part, print discount is 0 and the reduced cost is also 0. Print the total cost of the pizza, which would be rounding the total cost to 2 decimal places. Then outside the if statement, we print "Thank you for coming." And this completes our program. Now if we run the program, it prints the bases available, and they are all supplied with tomato sauce, the toppings, and that all toppings cost 0.5. Then we enter the base we want to order. I'll choose small. The toppings we want to order, let's do mushrooms, red onions, sweet corn, and cheese. Done. We did not want the done in our list, we only wanted the toppings. That's why we used the if statement, because if we did just if toppings equals done and done equals true, then it would include the done in the list. But we used else to append, which means to input the toppings in the list. If we didn't use the else in the if statement to append the toppings, then it would include the done. Now it tells us what we ordered, the cost of the pizza, which will be £1 plus 4 times 0.5, which is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. So this is correct, then we print. We don't want to change our order, but if we want it, it will go through the while loop again. Let's change it to medium now, and only one topping. Now it only prints 1, and the cost is also reduced, 1.5. Wait. It should print 2 here. We need to double check the program. Now, if we check the program, topic cost, which should be 1 times 0.5, it should be 0.5, and then base, which was medium, total cost equals base cost. Oh! There's a spelling error here. We wrote ES instead of SE, and that's why it did not recognize the variable as base cost, but another variable, and that's why it printed 1.5, because it thought that the base is 1. Base cost is 1, and that's why it added 1 and 0.5. Now let's run the program again. Now if we input medium and just one topping, it prints 2. Let's try changing it again to large, and let's pick 2 toppings, and it prints 3 because 2 plus 0.5 times 2, which is 1. So it is correct. We don't want to change our order. Let's print OK. Do you want to collect the pizza or deliver it? I want it collected. I want the bill printed. Now it prints the base order large, cost 2, the toppings, cost of the toppings, discount, reduced cost, and the total cost, which would be 2 plus 1, which is 3, minus 1.2, which is 1.8. Thank you for coming. Anyway, that's it for today. If you learned something new today or enjoyed the video, then give it a big thumbs up and subscribe too if you haven't already. Don't forget to ring the notification bell next to the subscribe button. Comment below if you want to know something about the program. For example, how to make a specified number of toppings that user can input, and I'll answer to them in my next video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon in my next video. See ya!